Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and fellow League of Legends lovers, enjoyers, haters, and ranked survivors, welcome back. It has been over a month since we've done patch notes, and boy oh boy are we in for it today! It's currently 2 a.m. I'm cold, I'm naked, I'm hungry. My throat is in pain because it's injured, so if I sound different, please excuse it. But we are here at 2 a.m. to finally react and give our opinions on the new season coming to League. Ranked is resetting. This is the time where they're going to change a lot, and they are. And we're going to go over it. Now, recently, excuse me, as we can see on screen here, we have a new cinematic that was released by Riot themselves, obviously, and I literally just reacted to it. So this is advertising for that. If you want to see that, go look at it. It was really good. But either way, we are here for the patch notes, and that is what we will look at. I am hoping not to make this like my old patch notes, and I've been pretty good, I would say, with the recent patch notes, but we'll see. I hope this doesn't go for an hour, but again, we'll see. Now, I made the mistake, and I'm not going to redo the video, so because my throat is hurting me, and I do apologize for doing this so early, I'm going to go get water really quickly. But then I'm going to get back, and we're going to get into it. But this is going to be a pretty chill, hopefully decently quick rundown of the patch. But I'll be right back. I'm going to go get water. I'm not restarting the video. Fuck. Okay. I'm back. Worst part was, I did not have a lot of water. Anyway, let's read through this. We're not going to go over, we're not going to go over a lot of bullshit here, hopefully. I don't want to give my opinion on absolutely everything, but hopefully we could get through a lot of it and give our extremely expert opinion on it. So let's see. So, welcome to a brand new season of League. We've got a plethora of far-reaching changes, which of course, like I said, we'll give our opinion on at the cost of my voice. So if you don't want to read thousands of words, here's a brief overview. Perfect. Oh, excuse me. So, already, I kind of know a lot of what they're doing because we've obviously reacted to a lot of their dev updates. And in general, I'll just say I think League obviously, the game is live service. It's going to change over time, no doubt. But the biggest thing, excuse me, the biggest thing is that in what way is it changing? And this is where I even say this for the balance as well. It should swing back and forth, right? There's going to probably be seasons of League where it's more oriented towards early quick games. There's probably going to be more seasons where it's very late game oriented, right? Some seasons ADs might be in meta, although usually they're not, but that might change. That might change in this one. Some other seasons assassins might be meta. I think everyone should have their time in the sun and we should always be shifting. And I'm not necessarily against going back to old metas and having them revived, right? Similar to TFT revival. But this is where, just don't do it too often, but try and hit like a good cadence of new stuff versus returning stuff, if that makes sense. But I think with the new stuff is sometimes it's a little counterintuitive what they're trying to do. Sometimes I think what Riot does is a little silly. But again, ultimately we'll see. So let's take a look. So, they want to move towards turret pushing and away from epic monster contest. And I'll say this, recent League, even though I haven't played a lot of it because I basically got my rank and I'm just playing ARAM Mayhem, which sadly is going away now, which is really, really sad because it's amazing. I do hope they bring it back, similar to Swarm. This is where I believe macro decided the whole game. I think objectives were so fucking powerful, and it even shows because they're taking away Otacon. Surprise, right? Not really much of a surprise because we knew it already, but they're taking away Atacon, and They're redoing a lot of jungle objectives because that's the main way you won the game. You get grubs, you get Otacon, you get Herald, you get Baron, you get dragons, and there was honestly a lot to fucking do where if you didn't have a good jungler, you're basically fucked because the enemy would just power creep you, regardless of matchup, regardless of champions, sometimes. Regardless though, with tuning changes in the brand new Crystalline Overgrowth, I honestly forgot what that is. Role power is rebalanced, and that's the big thing they're doing that I'm very excited for. There's role quests for each role, which for ADC, it's very exciting. New vision mechanics with Phaelites as well. New items, crazy. And most champions base... wait, why does it say most? Most champions base crit damage is now 200. So ADCs, hopefully across the board, are actually getting stronger, thank you God. I don't want to speak ahead of, myself, right? I don't want to jump the gun. But I really think with a lot of the changes coming, ADC might be a lot better. Hopefully. Rank play has new changes to reduce the pain of autofilling, thank you God. And again, they went over this in the dev videos. The game is also a little faster, both in SR and Swift play. Cool. And we're going to read on. So there's a new Demacia theme, Summoner's Rift, ARAM Mayhem. Wait, ARAM Mayhem balance updates? Wait, how? ARAM Mayhem was going away in 4 days. Well, I think yesterday. Did they extend it? An overhaul to Swift Play to make it even more swifter, which I think was an issue. Swift Play, unlike the name suggests, wasn't too swift. Now at max, it's like 30 minutes, right? You're rarely going to go that far, but I did find a lot of my games going past 20, and I was like, oh wow. Which granted, if you want to play a Swift game, play the other game mode on Bandle City, right? Or on the Bandle map. This is where I don't believe, or I don't know if it's correct to push a too quick version of SR, but I don't think it's bad. I like having options. Regardless. Lobby hostage taking and more. That's crazy. So obviously ranked is going to reset, and I'm going to be, I guess, fortunately or unfortunately, streaming it. And again, I always say this, League, even though it's changed over time, the one things that have remained consistent is the toxicity has gone down, and it's been more pleasant to play ranked more than ever. Which is sad, because I play ranked the least now. Anyway, there's TFT patch notes. We don't care about those, at least here. I might check that out on my own. But let's see. So we have new Demacia themed skins, new Demacia themed battle pass, and there's a lot. So role quests. So basically this is like what support has except for every class. Junglers and support players have had this for years. Oh yeah, I forgot junglers had it too. Yeah. With the stupid little pets. Writing new lane phase defining quest for other 3 positions, which I believe for ADC is just CSing. So if you're a good player and you know how to farm, great. This incentivizes what you're supposed to do anyway. So you get this based on queuing up, so you really need to role swap if you're swapping lanes. If you don't role swap, you might be fucked, which is a big complaint I've also heard, but at the end of the day, I think it's, I think you should pay attention to these things, but it's going to lead undoubtedly to some people swapping champions and not roles and then them getting fucked. If you want to trade positions, you'll need to do that during champ select, obviously, and again, this is where it's more strict than ever now, and they already had this in the game with jungle. And the game will now reward playing out of your lane matchup for the first few minutes of every game. Really? This change will help us better balance and tackle the pro play meta. Wow. So they're not doing the whole lane swap bullshit, which was very, very strict. And in a way, and I think I kind of said this too, the lane swapping thing that they did to really deter it was so heavy-handed, and it disincentivized, I think, really professional, crazy play. Now, in the same way, I think sometimes the pros take the game and kind of violate it, but I think it was so heavy-handed by Riot, it really stifled creativity, in a way. I think this is a way better way to tackle it. Every position will receive a quest for successfully completing their role. For top, mid, and bot, these will be entirely new advantages, and for bot, it's no joke. For support and junglers, they're just updating it. Cool. Queuing up. So in all queues, you'll automatically be given the quest. So custom rift log does now require players to select a position. That's fine. So if this, which is fine because some of them do take a little bit. So that's okay. But they'll still have the jungle and support one, which is kind of sad. So, completing your quest. Once you're in game, you're in your lane, you'll earn points reflected in the UI, which is cool. Support and jungle players will earn points for taking basically the same shit, okay. Supports are going to stack their item, while junglers players will just feed their pet. And here's the juicy parts now. So, For everything else, it's champ takedowns, epic monster takedowns, minion kills, turret plates. Again, just playing the game essentially, right? Mid laners also progress by dealing damage to champions, and it's almost in a way like Kayn, where you just passively get it. Past your outermost living turret in the side lane, drive your opponent out of lane to kill him slow there. So basically, there's more ways now to really delay the power of the enemy, which is cool. But it might be toxic as fuck. It might feel really bad. But we'll see, because they did take a lot of stuff out. I don't know if they took the feats of warfare out for the boot. I think they did, but I don't know. But I know for sure they took Atacon out, but we'll see if they mention that. So, top lane they say is difficult, blah, blah, blah. We're enhancing the agency. So, oh yeah, this one is they all get teleport. Now, if you take teleport at the same time, you basically get an upgraded teleport, which, yeah, I could see, depending on how OP it is, I could see it being used, but I think it's so much more valuable now to go Ghost or Ignite or Barrier or something. Like, the fact that everyone just gets teleport for free is crazy. It's almost like back in the day, and many people won't know this, Recall was a spell you had to take. Not everyone got Recall back to base. It was a summoner spell, but everyone used it, they just made it universal. Kind of like what they're doing to teleport, but only for top laners. So that's cool. So golden XP for minions is reduced by 25% outside of top lane if you are selecting top lane. Cool. So this is getting into the nitty gritty. I won't go over this too much because there's no point. I won't really understand this either. But you do get it passively, and obviously you get stuff for just playing the game. Crazy. Oh yeah, and they increased the level cap. Oh shit. So if top laner did not select teleport, you get Unleashed teleport, which is 7 minutes, but at least it's something, right? And then if you do get it, basically you get, I think, current teleport, but it's better because it gives you a shield. That's great. Wow. Dude, the fact that they are like more scaling is crazy. But to be fair, you know, you would think, why didn't they give this to ADC? That's supposed to be the scaling role, but oh, don't worry. If you don't know what ADC got, I think it's very fucking good. Very, very good. So, moving on. Jungle. So jungle is basically the same. It looks like they lowered the pet requirement, which is great. They nerfed the Gust Walker, which is whatever. They buffed Smite, which is crazy. And now junglers just get move speed for free in the jungle. Cool. And then they also get more XP and more gold. Fine. That's fine. Mid lane. So what does mid lane get? I forgot what they get. They receive a free upgrade to their boot. Okay, and they get periodically empowered recall. Cool. So this basically incentivizes them, and I gotta see the way the boot works, but it's either gonna incentivize them to roam more or to just, well, back and roam more, yeah, honestly. This one to me is the most boring one, but it's by no means necessarily weak. So basically, it's kind of like feats of strength, like they're saying here, but just for mid laners now. Which is ironic because there's a lot of different roles that go mid. Obviously, you could kind of say the same thing about top. Top, you have tanks. Top, you have fighters and stuff like that. Sometimes crazy fucking assassins, but it's not as bad with teleport. I feel like teleport is basically almost universal. Almost anyone can use it. Whereas this, it's kind of universal. Because who doesn't want move speed and a quicker back? But it doesn't feel to me as impactful as teleport unless you just get it so often, but I guess we'll see. So same thing for top, you get less XP, you need 1350 points. So again, dealing damage, kind of like Kayn, gives you stuff. Killing minion is great. If it's in mid, it's even better. And I like that they don't restrict it to your lane. It's just they incentivize you to do it more in your lane, which is cool. Taking out turret plate, everything like that, and then you get it passively. Nice. So tier 2 boots now correspond to tier 3, and they will be upgraded once you buy them if you don't have them, and then you get an empowered recall every 5 minutes, which basically lowers it by half. Cool. And then each time you kill someone, you get the empowered recall lowered by 1. Okay, I like that. I love incentivization. I think that's good. And then here's all the boots. Oh, good lord. I believe this is basically the same as the other stuff, except for the passive, the unique passive. Empowering or protecting allies with abilities dealing damage, cast successful grants move speed. Okay. Swift March. Oh, wow. Okay, so you basically get like Hecarim passive. Spellslinger Shoes, you basically just get more damage. Gunmetal Greaves, which I don't know what mid laner is really getting that besides ADCs, but okay. It gives lifesteal now. What the fuck? Chain Laced Crushers, bum. Okay, so this is basically the same, and same thing as Armored Advance. So they did take some things back from Feats of War. So that's cool. It's the boots. So yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Bot lane! Oh my god, I am so fucking ready. So they're doubling down as bot laners as the game-defining gold income carry. So basically, you gotta farm. Bot lanes progress their quests for more minion kills, and we're obviously gonna focus on this. I'm an ADC main, obviously. So we're really gonna read this whole thing. So we're rewarded with upfront gold, increased gold income for the rest of the fucking game, and the ability to move their boots into their role quest slots. So this is kind of in a way similar to mid lane, but also not at all. We are upgrading the boot technically by basically getting rid of it as an item. So we're all kind of becoming Cassiopeia, and we're gaining the boot. So it's in a way better than Cassiopeia, even though Cassiopeia gets more move speed. She doesn't get the passives from any of the boots. She doesn't take up an item slot. We don't take up an item slot anymore, and we have the passes of the boots. We just don't get as fast as Cass, but that's fine. But either way, freeing up an inventory slot is fucking crazy. It is crazy. So what do you have to do? Basically, the same shit, epic monster, minion kill, blah, blah, blah. And you get passive shit. So the reward, you get some upfront gold to help with scaling, which is decent. You get more gold per minion kill, so you basically almost get like a permanent cull, except better. And then 50 gold per champion takedown for the rest of the game, so you can be hyper scaling. And then, if that's not bad enough, if they're keeping, and I don't know if they're keeping this in the game, if they're keeping Collector in the game, you're about to be making 75 extra gold. You're about to be like almost like a Draven, in a way. And then boots move to role class slot, basically giving you 7 fucking items. Now, sadly, I don't think they've done this yet. I think they might have done this for support, but we'll see. I wish they do this for every role, and this is where it's kind of like this already in Smite. I really wish there was a dedicated pink ward slot, because later on in the game, and then, it's the argument of, oh, well, this is the job of the support, sure, and they are updating the vision system this season too, which we're going to go into, but I really wish that everyone could, like, have a vision slot, because once you max out your slots, certain people, aka everyone besides the support, really can't buy wards unless you have the trinket. But ADCs get blue, which I guess is kind of vision, but other people get sweeper. It's really dependent. Also, what's going on, Tater? I actually don't know if it was Nocturne. I didn't even think of that. But maybe it could have been Nocturne. But that's for that. We're doing patch outs right now. We have to focus. So either way, on to support. So support is basically the same old, same old. It looks like they did update it, quality of life. So what are they doing? Oh, and look, they're doing exactly what I said. So instead of sacrificing an item slot for control wards, now they're basically getting the same thing ADC is getting. So they're reducing the quest items until level 3, or the golden XP for minion kills. Oh. Zax is... Oh no, all the support items now give more gold per 10. That's good, so passively. So it feels like they are speeding up the game a tight bit, so the games are going to be quicker, which I think, with just the way society is and the way we're going, excuse me, with short form content and everything, I think people don't have long enough attention spans anyway, which is why maybe they're updating Swift Play as well. But I think it's okay for the things to get quicker, because these games being long leads to a lot of frustration if you're being held hostage or if you lose. Unless it's a really good game. Anyway, control ward gets reduced, which is great, because then it incentivizes you to buy more, and then you can store up to 2 control wards on your role quest slot, which is great. So you don't necessarily get a new item, you just get a slot just for the wards, which is fine. So not as strong as ADC's one, but it's support. It's not supposed to be strong. Okay, here we go. So basically what they're saying here is they're getting rid of Otacon, Blood Roses, and Feet of Strength. These were pretty strong things, and they obviously had to change these things around a lot. Otacon was one of the biggest signifiers of if people would win the game. Whichever team got Otacon was way more likely to win. Feats of Strength they had to nerf and change a couple of times, and Blood Roses were very, very gold efficient in terms of the stats they give for just getting them. They give XP and Adaptive Force, which was crazy. But, you know, Adakan's not in the story, so he's dead. So lore-wise, it makes sense why he's not here either. And they even say it here. League was getting too objective focused because there was so much shit. And it was pretty complex. Again, you had to do Grubs, Dragon, Baron, Herald, Otacon. I almost forgot about that one. It was a lot. Like, for a new player, it must be like, damn, what the fuck is all this shit? But either way. So yeah, they were removed. So they're increasing the gold that all the stuff you used to do gives you anyway. So that's cool. The value of frequently killed champions, letting them re-earn their way back to full value. So this is just in terms of snowballing. Again, there's not too much to say about this because we have to see how it lands, but it seems like it's going to be not as hard to come back, hopefully. And then they even say it too, it's optimal to continue picking on the same lane. So they're kind of making it so it's not as good. Okay, cool. So yeah, feats of strength are removed. First blood gives more gold. First turret gives more gold. Otacon's out. Blood roses are out. Base gold evaluation is higher, and base gold or base kill gold reevaluation is also higher. Cool. Oh my dear God, man! Holy moly! So what are they doing here? So they want people to better solo jungle objectives, which I thought that was always a really cool thing that only niche junglers could do. Like Yi, for example, Yi and Bel'Veth. Maybe Trend as well. But I guess they want to be able to do it more. And this is where, in general, as time has gone on, they have wanted more people in general just in the jungle role. Zed, Garen, Darius, for some reason. Although it does make the role more fun. But either way, they want to increase the risk, bring it closer to the danger level, pushing for turrets. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I saw this too. They're making stuff. Wait, I'm so confused. They want to make them, and by them I mean junglers, they want to make them better at soloing objectives, but also harder or more risky. That seems kind of weird. Either way, the jungle monsters are getting longer to kill. They're getting tougher. Blah blah blah. Dragon Soul is impactful as taking Baron. Oh, really? Junglers will also is nearly penalized. Okay. Most epic monsters also no longer reward simply being around when it dies. Nice. So they buff Smite because the monsters are getting harder to kill. That's fine. Pass on rewards. Da, da, da. Jesus Christ, there's so much shit here. So they're talking about Elder and Baron here. They're curtailing their gold rewards. Ooh. Which I think is fair. I don't think these things should be giving gold because it's already late game anyway you're getting these things. I think they should just give massive fucking buffs. Which looks like is what they're doing. Comeback experience, blah blah blah. So in the past they had inconsistent scaling. I mean, in the past, I feel like they just became jokes. Like, at a certain point, teams would just violate these things. But granted, teams are supposed to be doing that. But I feel like it was too easy. So they are making it more difficult, which is good. Practice tool. Da, da, da. Oh, yeah, now you can do stuff in practice tool, which is great. So, moving on now to the elemental drakes. They have a lot more HP. Jesus Lord. And then if they have soul, they're going to get even more. And there's a new mechanic called Dragon Vengeance. Wow. So now it takes twice as long. That's crazy, but I actually like that. It gives a lot more hype moments, especially in pro play for just taking Dragon, where they can't just do it so quick. I actually really like this. Picking Dragon Vengeance, da da da. But we want Dragon Soul to be strongly contestable, which is great. This very much does that. I actually think this is very exciting. And they still don't deal damage, which is fine. They're just tanky. On a camp or two. So they basically are also incentivizing Dragon too. Interesting. Alright, so here's the actual changes. More health. And they scale up to 10k. On top of the 3k. Wow. So it almost looks kind of the same. I guess it's just different because of the armor and MR now. Magic resist growth goes way up. The armor goes way up. Mountain Drag has more. Dragon Vengeance is a thing, which apparently was a thing before too, but now it's giga buffed. Holy shit. But it no longer increases damage to champions, so again, you're not really dying to these things, they just take forever. And the killed goal is going up by 50, but again, I personally don't think that matters too much. And the XP is going up too. And now this is some advanced shit, but it's linear instead of quadratic. Cool. So Elder. So it's higher level at base. I mean, again, it's just tankier. Literally, that's just it. It's tankier. Void Grubbies. These are one of my favorite objectives, by the way. I love these things. And they've gotten easier and easier because back in the day, you used to have to kill 2 sets of them. Now you only have to kill 1, which I think is better. It's less stressful. Playing jungle was stressful, man, keeping track of all this shit. Anyway, so let's see. We think the buff already rewards players want to reduce the pressure. Ooh. So yeah, this is where grubs were super important too. I think after Otacon, I think grubs were also really important too. So let's see. The killer of each monster is who gets the gold, blah, blah, blah. Void mites only affect the monster camp version. Okay, cool. So their level is going up. They have more armor. So again, most of the time they're just getting tankier. So that's cool. They deal more damage to non-champions. Nice. So I guess that's the pets and stuff. The gold is higher a little bit. The XP is whatever. XP radius is 2,000 and no longer heals for 60, which is honestly whatever. On to Herald. It's tankier. I don't want to spend too much time on these because I don't think there's honestly a lot. Otacon is gone. Baron. What are they doing to Baron? Done a tuning pass on the various abilities. They're not weaker. The shred is being empowered. Ooh, okay. So yeah, they're basically just making fights more susceptible to just the other team interfering. And they want to make Baron harder, which I think is fine. Okay. It'll be more durable, slightly more threatening, and it'll scale. And it'll shred. Cool. So again, the biggest thing is, if you do this, you really got to prepare for the enemy team fucking with you, for sure. So Baron goes back to a 20-minute spawn time again, which is cool. The health is going up, it looks like. Jesus Lord. Oh my god, wait, the health is going up by a shit ton. It's getting 16,000 at base, plus another 19k. Holy schmoly. And again, it's scaling pretty hard. The AD and everything, corrosion. Oh my god. Wow, see, I like this. I really like this. This is exciting, man. It's now subject to comeback experience like with dragons. Wow, so it gives more XP too if you're behind. Cool. And then finally, jungle adjustments. Removing the global red and blue buffs that were available. Really? So, ironically enough, this is low-key, believe it or not, a buff to Ivern. They basically took Ivern's passive and gave it to just everyone in the game. And now they're finally kind of giving it back, which is wild. Excuse me. And they're not very impactful, so they're kind of saying blue and red kind of suck. Makes it hard to appreciate the reward since it could show up without any effort from you, which I think was honestly a good thing too. So now you still have to go and pick it up. The level of these camps got too high with so many buffs giving out, blah blah blah. You're less likely to face off against the enemy who's wearing matching buffs. Nice. So, Baron spawn no longer corrupts red and blue, so that's out, so they're no longer global. But they still drop one buff for someone, which hopefully should be the AD or the mid laner. So the red buff regen is getting kinda buffed out, but it's sort of scaling slower. Okay. The slow is pretty much, they're just changing the scalings around. The overall power doesn't seem to be too changed, it's just when you get it, which is fine. Burn now displays its cumulative damage, which is great. That's a change that's mainly just quality of life, but it's good. And they now show exactly how much power they provide. Thank you, God. I hated having to, like, figure that out. Again, really nice quality of life. They no longer last 30 seconds longer if the jungler kills a champion for it. Oh! Well, that's a bug fix. Wow, so that's kind of a nerf. The jungle rules. Jesus Christ. Are aimed at slowing down the early clears. Okay, so they're making the early game slower, but I guess when you start getting to like team fights and pushing, that's when things get faster. They're reshaping early. They're giving a lot of damage reduction, so they're basically making early jungle easier, but also slower. Interesting. They'll be better at killing epic monsters. Their pets are basically going to be fucking roided out on creatine. Cool. And their smite will be more powerful to account for things like Lux and Jinx ultimates, because this is where Jinx ult used to actually outdo Smite for a certain couple of patches until they nerfed it. So what are they doing? Monster damage amp is going down. Smite damage obviously is going up, which they said. Junglers take less damage, which is crazy, by 50. They get more of a heal. There's a bigger minimum heal, it looks like. And they restore 15 energy, so that's good for all the energy users out there. The pet heal is going kind of down early, but that's fine. With everything else, the pet DPS is scaling higher. Blah, blah, blah. Jungle's easier, just slower, it looks like. But you also scale it faster. Nice. And then finally, this is the big one. This one we're actually going to try and read a lot. Phalites. So this is where they're kind of doing some stuff with the vision system. We'll see if this sticks around kind of like Otacon, but, or, you know, Otacon didn't. We'll see if this does. So, there's glowing mushrooms, hopefully not related to Teemo, and some upon some elemental rift transformations, okay. So it basically empowers wards. Interesting. So they want wards to be more usable, even if the support isn't nearby. Ooh, which is weird again, because come late game, unless you take the trinket, which again, most people end up taking sweepers, this is kind of hard to do the later the game goes on. This is a major motivator for the powerful Phalite spots. Interesting. So I'm very curious what they're saying here. They're saying like it's long enough but not too long. Let's see if that sweet spot is actually what it is, because Riot says things that are not usually true, because the fans take it and they violate it. So second, what do they want to do? They want the vision to be more approachable. Nice. So basically in my mind, and this is kind of the path that League has been going, they're kind of just holding your hand. They're telling you, hey, ward here. And if you ward here, you're getting a massive benefit. They're kind of holding your hand. Like, it's the same thing with the whole jungle changes. They tell you what camps to do, where to go, what to level, what to buy, when to buy it. It's not in the sense of like, you know, AI now playing the game for you. It's definitely giving you a very hard guiding hand. And the good thing is, experienced players sometimes don't listen to it because sometimes they have something more optimal. So I'm glad it's there for new players, but good players can sometimes go without it and be better off, which is great. But anyway, it forces you to make strategic decisions about when and how to use limited ward trinket resources. So they do acknowledge it's limited too. Okay, cool. We want to ensure the vision system has interesting mechanics. Ooh. So basically, it really sounds like they're doing this more for split pushing, so you don't just get fucked if you're split pushing and then you just get ganked. Because realistically, if you're a split pusher, you know this is going to happen. You know you're going to get squatted. Either way. So each location has its own specifics, which is cool. So very interesting. Easier than average for a losing team to retake and recover vision. Yeah, because at a certain point, and I guess they're trying to, in a way, mitigate so much, I don't want to say power creep, but like one-sidedness, where if you're getting your shit kicked in, number one, if you're the jungler, you have like no farm, right? And number two, you have no vision. So you have to go into your jungle that's probably empty looking for scraps where the enemy is waiting to jump you after taking your wallet. It's crazy. But either way, this kind of helps with that, but we'll see how much. And then finally, apparently the vision system has been historically hard to understand. Really. I feel like it's even more complicated now, but it's more complicated for those who want to know the specifics, but it's easier in the sense for the layman, because, again, it's just, hey, ward right here. Don't think about it. Which is funny. It's more complicated, but at the same time, it's also kind of more easy too. So either way, keeping an eye on how Phalites impact the vision, cool. Placing a ward of any type makes the ward a Phalite super ward. So it's more vision, it reveals more for 45 seconds, it's region specific, what it's going to reveal, so each Phalite is different. It's only visible to your team. The bonus vision region is not affected by the type of ward being used, nice. So it's regular wards, this duration is represented by a cooldown. So eventually you will lose it, but it's momentary, which is fine. Enemies will know when they're in the bonus region. Ooh. If they have a sweeper effect. Enemies know when they're in the bonus region if their team has ping tracked it. Ooh. All Fairlight super words are suppressed. Ooh. Excuse me. Oh, they're suppressed while you're scanning it. Okay. If you already have a ward on the Fairlight, the ward will be destroyed. Wow. And the ward has a 25% score mod. Okay, so for vision score, cool. The bonus vision region is treated as an extra ward obeying the position modifier. Okay, this is just for stat-wise, that's fine. And then the locations, there's some near the base gates, there's one the island brush, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. We'll all see this in game. Nice. I would try and say more on, what I think of the areas, but I'm not going to look this shit up. There's too many changes here, and I'm more wanting to experience it in game and then report back in the next patch notes. Either way, so they're buffing the cooldown of yellow trinkets. Thank you, God. Damn, so we're about to have so much more vision in League. Holy shit. They're buffing red trinket duration too. Wow. We're adding more Scryer's blooms. Okay, yeah, dude, vision is going out the ass. Holy shit. So stealth ward trinket cooldown is going down. Oracle lens is going up by 2. And then Scryer's bloom are respawning sooner. By a good amount. Holy shit. Then new Scryer's locations based on the Elemental Rift get updated. Nice. And here's where they're all at. Damn. Home guards. Holy fucking shit. So home guards is faster, which again leads to just the game being faster overall, like they said. Keep your home guard until you reach the action. Okay, cool. So it lasts longer. So honestly, this just feels better. And again, it helps people with short form brains. So it no longer has a duration. Wow. Because sometimes if you would chill in base and try and get items or just, decide to go one area but then change your mind, go back to your lane, you kind of lose some of it. This is cool. This is probably going to feel pretty nice. It will always take you at least to your inhibitor. Home guards will track the furthest minion in lane. Oh. Home guards has 80% move speed. Holy shit. But it ramps down. And as the game goes on, it gets a little lower. That's fine. And then Swift Play, it's roided out too. Cool. Okay, this. What the fuck is this? I completely forget this. What is this? Crystalline Overgrowth. So what the fuck is this? Outside of Baron buff, they want people to, have pushing situations that are better. Okay. Oh, is this the stupid tower bullshit? Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. So it's a new mechanic on lane turrets to enable that damage progress. Oh, I remember this. Okay. So it's basically like giving everyone the, I was about to say the rune. I think it is a rune, but basically they're giving everyone Demolish. So basically if you don't touch the turret, I think over time, it's going to get like a crystal on it that you could just break and do a lot of damage. Bonus true damage, actually. Wow. And it's not based on stats, so the supports can do it too then. Wow. Only hit turrets a couple times per game. Ah. Okay. Jesus Christ, there's so much here. Targetable lane turrets are now subject. So basically, it can't be anything past the turret that's the furthest. They will appear after a 90-second startup cooldown. They'll take true damage the next time an enemy champion attacks it. Interesting. And it's going to scale up. Wow. It's based on average level. Okay. So again, this just makes pushing faster, and it makes splitting a lot more relevant, because you basically are doing hit and run tactics like the Revolutionary War did to the British in America. Honestly, that's what it is. Holy shit. And if it has backdoor protection, you can't do it. Okay. Wow. Once enemies are gone, the overgrowth will be applied. Wow. So what are they doing with Demolish now? And it needs to be simplified, really. So this is going to double down on it. For a powerful attack against the tower while near it, your third attack deals bonus damage. Oh my god, but it's on a shorter cooldown, which is cool. So instead of just charging up by standing near it, you have to auto it 3 times. Okay. For melees, that puts you a little bit more in a risky position, but not by much. Cool. Next. Okay, game time. Now, this is pretty fucking big. It might not seem big, but this is pretty fucking big. So, with the game not lasting as long, they're also making the game start sooner. So, if a game doesn't last, like, as long, you're still getting some more time in the beginning, technically, but it really depends. Anyway, a lot of the time, though, in the beginning, you would have some time to maybe come back from your piss or, get situated in the jungle. Now, I feel like with this change, I wouldn't be surprised if they roll this back to like 45 seconds or 50 seconds or something, because now the game starts very quickly and it gives you very little wiggle time before you could, again, kind of set up, come back from doing whatever you're doing if you're doing something while loading in. There's a lot of nuance to this, but this seems very, very strict. But if you're there, and especially if you're in rank, you should be, attentive anyway. This is going to be pretty good if you just want to get into the action. And now, like, the invades are going to happen even faster. So again, you have very little time to react. Everything spawns sooner, including Baron, obviously, which they said. Yeah, everything is just faster, which is interesting. And even early surrenders earlier, too, by about 35 seconds. Not bad. Oh my dear God, bro. There's so much reading. We're barely through this shit. We're not even to the new items. Oh my God, bro. I'm gonna be here for so long. How long have we been doing this? Oh my God, it's already 41 minutes. There's no way I'll get under an hour. So anyway, besides crystalline overgrowth, there's all this other shit. So let's see. There's all these new mechanics, blah, blah, blah. 3D visualizations of the plates. Now there's just on the health bar, which is kind of sad. I actually like the visuals of the plates, but I guess it might interfere with the crystalline mechanic shit. Either way, the outer turrets from scaling quite so far. So they're making turrets also kind of weaker too. Bulwark updated, disappears. 10% less damage from minions and range champions to now 20% less damage. Okay. They updated the tooltips, and the true sight is up by 5. Huh, that was random. The health bar has been changed to make it easier to understand how durable it really is. Nice. So again, they're just updating UI and shit. I think that's fine. Turret plates are now permanent. So again, you really got to play around. It looks like the crystalline mechanic. They're rewarded for 300 gold for destroying the first plate. Nice. They're now permanent, so they never fall off, which is interesting. Lose 15 armor more per minute starting at 11. Oh, wow. And then they don't award gold after 14. Capped at negative 40. Oh, no, that's how it was before. Okay. So the plate thresholds, blah, blah, blah. No longer gains 50 permanent resist per plate, per dead plate. And now they don't have the model anymore, which is honestly pretty sad. So base resist is up, base HP is up. And again, they're probably just balancing all this around the crystalline bullshit. So tier 2 and tier 3 turrets are receiving plates. Cool. So I guess if you push harder earlier, you get more of a reward now. There are more durable epic monsters, blah, blah, blah. So you're basically just incentivized to do stuff earlier and more. Okay. Interesting. We're not going to go through all this. Nexus turrets. They already have partial kill rewards, and they do regen, too. We're not doing much, which is fair because they also respawn, I believe. But they're also weaker on respawn, because it would kind of feel like shit that they respawn like full health. Cool. So it's actually better to leave it low health, too, and they're actually saying it. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. So Nexus turret health is getting slightly buffed, the resists are getting nerfed, and the HP on respawn is at 40. But it does get some regen. Cool. And they now have a separate tower item for respawning. That's funny. Oh my god, what are they going to do to the fucking minions? Holy shit. So minions, again, are spawning at higher rates, which is good in multiple ways, because if you're the team that's behind, you get to farm more, and if you're the team that's ahead, there's more sieging opportunities. So that's good. So they're reducing the value and pruning a melee minion. Okay, I think that's fine. They're basically just adding more opportunities, but lessening the value of the actual minions themselves. That's okay. Except the cannons. Cool. So there's some cleanup too. So at 14 minutes, one fewer melee minion spawns. Okay, so there's less melee, but the cannons are still there, and they spawn often. And then they spawn every 20 seconds. Holy shit. But again, there's less of them. But again, they're just giving you more opportunities, which I like. And then they're just changing damage. Nothing here seems too egregious, so we'll skip it. Nice. Cool. Oh my dear lord. Oh no, actually this one's important. And then we're finally getting to the champion changes. All of those were just system changes. That's insane. Anyway, so now every single champion is getting higher crit rate. So in a way, this kind of does help assassins a little bit, obviously, but the biggest winner of this is, you guessed it, ADCs. And the fact that ADCs can now build a sixth item independent from boots, they're just getting buff after buff after buff. It is crazy. So let's see. They're also changing people who get at least 25 crit. Interesting. Crit chance. Want to remove any of these champions towards auto attack scaling. Oh. But not ability scaling. Really? So they're going to nerf people like Tristan? This moves usually nerf ability damage through the AD ratio and our crit scaling ratios. Okay. When handling critical strike damage in general, we're pushing every ability to scale as a portion of bonus crit. Wow. So they're really incentivizing like old school crit again. Holy shit. We try to preserve a high crit rate, damage ratio, and the more spell-like the ability. So really, you can't fuck around and build stupidness now. Unless you're an on-hit champion, obviously. They really want you to build crit. Which, again, I'm a little biased because I love crit anyway, but it is interesting. Because they already kind of did this to Tristana. They gave her a crit scaling on the E, I believe. So, this is pretty cool. Finally, let's get to the changes. So, oh my god, I almost choked. So, as I was mentioning before, it's ironic it comes up again. Cassiopeia no boots shit. So this is where, as they say here, sometimes it really feels like shit to have this at certain points, and I agree. And Cassio's already hard in general, so... So now it's a movement-based effect. Cool. So she has more move speed, which is low-key kind of broken at base. And then she gains move speed, but she can't purchase boots. But all the move speed is more effective on her, which technically means if you get I forgot what the rune is called exactly, but there's a certain rune, I think it's called Celerity, where it also increases all move speed as well. So Cassiopeia could be a really slippery snake soon. Samira! So I think they're adding the crit thing. Oh my god, they are. Yes! Yes! So is this a buff? Value of D must go down. Okay. Interesting. Ooh. Excuse me. So our non-crit damage is going up. The total AD is going down. And then with IE, 100% of bonus crit damage, 2 to 2.3. So technically it is going up. Everything's going up. Great. Aphelios! What did they say? 200 years of gaming experience? Jesus Lord. Oh god, so what are they doing to this boy? So Severum's active to total attack damage. Okay. Interesting. So they're just changing from bonus AD to, Oh, wait, no, they're lessening it. Oh. Oh my. And again, the crit damage is going up. So overall, it just seems like the crit damage is going to go up. I'm not going to read all this. This is like bullshit to me. We're going to be here all day. And I'm too tired at 3 a.m. to really understand this fully. My apologies. Either way, like this is some like hardcore math for me. Sentry active damage, follow-up attack. It just seems like it scales harder. Cool. So Caitlyn, oh, this is going to be a big one. Caitlyn's top end headshot damage has gone out of hand. Oh, absolutely it has. And it's about to get stronger. Ooh, so they're nerfing her. Thank you, God. I hate Caitlyn. So her R is scaling with IE. So basically any crit AD, you have to get IE. You have to. Wow. So they're reducing it because her basics are going to do a lot more now. Jesus. Okay. Crit scaling up to 1.5, 30% of bonus critical strike damage. Interesting. Cool. So Trist's E scales pretty hard, and she's already pretty strong, so they're probably nerfing her. They are nerfing her. Cool. 40% of critical strike damage. Yeah, I don't know the math on this, man. Fuck. Neela, I really honestly don't care about. She looks like she's getting nerfed. Ooh, excuse me, but they're saying she's getting buffed. So they're lowering her late game compensation because, again, all ADs across the board are getting stronger. Cool. Oh my god, my girl. So let's see what they're doing, because Jinx is very strong usually. Making sure her two stances are more distinguished. Really? So her attack speed is going down. Okay. And then her R is getting nerfed. I mean, again, with all the AD changes, I'm curious, like, what this means. But what are they trying to do here? Her two stances are more distinguished. So they basically just wanted to auto more and her ult not to do as much. Interesting. So I guess this is, again, because she could get more items and stuff. Either way. Slight nerf to Jinx, though. Crazy. Jhin is so complicated. I'm really curious what they're doing, and it literally looks like they're doing nothing. Wow. So they just don't want him doing too much damage, so they're kind of nerfing his modification here. But again, they're still getting stronger. Like, this seemed like they were literally just nerfing him, but it's because they're overall still getting stronger from all the other systems. It's just hard to tell. I'm really curious where these ADs are going to land, but I feel like Jhin hasn't been really good for a long time. When are we going to get the days where we could get to 1000 AD again? So Sivir. They're reducing her Q scaling because her ricochets, aka her W, is going to be cracked out fuck. Yeah. Zeri, and we're already at the Z, so again, a lot of ADC changes. Holy shit. Unless they're just condensing them into one area here. So Zeri, I'll just be honest, I think she's such a weird AD. I'm really sad that they changed her so much from what she released as, which was kind of like a weird alternative AD. I think her crit, like, AD pathway, unless you're a pro, just feels really bad to play, and it feels like she does nothing. I honestly think she feels like shit. So what are they doing? We're getting Zeri's E to crit exactly like a basic. So that's technically, I guess, a big buff to them, so they're just kind of nerfing everything else, it looks like. I guess. 100% of bonus crit damage. Damn. So the E is getting pretty buffed. But again, Zeri's whole thing, and I could go for a while on Zeri, but I just don't like what she becomes and what she is. Which is weird. We're on the Z's, and then we have Lucian next. It's very odd. Anyway, the ult is getting nerfed again. This E better be like a crazy buff. Lucian! So he's, ironically enough, the thing they were like pointing out. He's like a spell-focused ADC. He's a caster AD. Oh my god, he's shooting more bullets. That's one thing I think is so cool with the ult. It scales over time and you just shoot so much. It really is like a really, really cool moment for Lucian players. And I think doubling down on it is even better. But basically, he's scaling with crit again. Wow. So they're nerfing him preemptively for that, too. His AD growth is going down. His Q damage is also going slightly up later. But also because it got nerfed bonus AD-wise. But again, overall, across the board, they're going to be stronger. Wow, so now you can actually fit into, like, lifesteal and a GA into, like, ADs, too. It's crazy. So the R extra bolts from crit chance is 100%. Oh my god. 22 to 47? And it goes up to 50 now. Wow. It's not really by too much more, but it's like 3 extra. But it just scales off crit, so you have to build crit. Cool. Xayah. So Xayah is typically always pretty strong too. I think she's low-key really strong. It's just whether the meta supports her or not, whether she plays with Rakan. But in terms of her E, it's getting buffed base damage, getting nerfed bonus damage, but the crit scaling is going up. Because again, crit damage in general is going up. I think this is a buff, hopefully. Raven. Ooh. So what are they doing to him? They're nerfing his AD growth, And they're buffing his... No, they're nerfing his W. Oh? Oh yeah, because he's getting buffed with everything else. Okay, that's fine. They're just nerfing him preemptively. Yunara. So Yunara, I'm pretty half-half on. I don't think it's like Zeri. Obviously, I think she has her place, and pros violate her and Zeri as well. Like, they really do good with her. I don't really like her, and it's sad. I thought I would like her. I don't know what it is. I feel like she almost feels a little useless, too. It doesn't feel like she should be doing as much as she should, at least in my hands. But granted, I haven't really played her too much, but let's see what they're doing. She has 2 builds. Even her on-hit build almost always picks up Hurricane. Oh. So no matter what, she's getting buffed since she's going somewhat crit. Huh. So they're trying to nerf her high AD crit builds, low attack speed builds. Interesting. So they're nerfing her attack speed by 5, and then her R plus W is getting nerf damage. So they basically just want you to auto more. That's fine. Akshan, who's, you know, one of the weakest, but also kind of strong AD, who also goes mid. His passive auto will crit for 100% value. Wow. So his actual autos are just going to be stronger. So again, they're really just pushing more into just autoing. They want autoing to be stronger in the main form of damage for ADCs, which you can have casters like Lucian, but overall, again, you're mainly going to do more damage with autos, it seems like. Cool. The passive second shot crit damage is actually insane that they're changing that. That seems like a huge buff, low-key. Holy shit. Avengerang is getting highly buffed. Holy shit. Heroic Swing is getting decently nerfed, but again, and this is sad because if you were to land this and like do it well, it feels so good, but most of the time most players can't do that. So overall, I think they're making just a lot of power centralized to Otacon's main parts of his kit that are just easier, like autoing and Q. They're putting more damage into that than everything, which is nice. And the R is getting adjusted. I don't know if that's a buff or not. Oh yeah, and then GP. Oh shit. I think GP and Smolder are gonna get even stronger. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, so he no longer has crit scaling. And then the powder keg is getting nerfed. Wow. Due to Essence Reaver. Oh. Oh, they put Essence Reaver back into Sheen? Or they put Sheen back into Essence? Wow. Oh, shit. Okay, so they're kind of scared of him. Okay, Yone. He's getting adjusted. He just isn't allowed to crit for full damage, and that makes sense. Same thing for Yasuo. They literally have the same thing. Nice. So MF, I heard, is kind of crazy recently. Let's see what they're doing to MF. It's funny, too, because MF used to go a really, really dirty lethality build. And I wonder if they're going to push her towards that or double down on the crit stuff. So what are they doing? They're softening her Q. Make sure that critical strikes feel like they have some impact. That, oh my god. See, they say they don't want to push her too far, but I've seen some, like, Doom posting saying, you know, MF, Misfortune, is going to be crazy. So what are they doing? They're kind of nerfing the Q, I think, from what they said. And then the R, dude, I've seen, like, some videos on this. I don't know if they're true, but I think they're adding a lot of damage because of this change. It's actually crazy. There's a flat amount plus total AD, which is going down, plus some AP. And then the crit scaling is obviously, I think, higher. Oh my god. That's a little scary. Trendemir, oh my good lord. I wonder if they're ever going to give Trend like a ASU or a gameplay update or a VGU nonetheless. But let's see. I also wonder if they're going to talk about the Shiv one. So he's getting some real updates here. Some very real nerfs. Oh my god. Okay, so they're nerfing his early because they kind of have to. So his Q gives full value at 10% remaining health. Oh. Interesting. Wait. Wait. His W, no matter what, is gonna slow them? Oh. Damn. And they nerfed the slow itself because of this. Wow. So what are they doing? The bonus AD, based on missing health, is getting higher, and they're increasing the cap. So the Q is getting buffed, it looks like. So the W kills any enemy, but it's for 2.5 seconds. Ugh. And the slow is slightly less. Okay. And the damage reduction is still at 4. Okay. Ugh. So if you're going to run no matter what, even if you're looking at him, he's still going to start getting you. That's crazy. So you're kind of incentivized to fight him almost. If you run, you're kind of fucked. And then the E is getting buffed, but also nerfed bonus AD. Okay, cool. Twitch, dude, this is going to be a problem. And they're even saying it. Oh my god, they're saying he's going to be too good. So they're reducing his attack speed by a little bit, his attack damage by a slight bit, and his attack speed on Q by a slight bit. But Twitch is going to be a fucking animal. I'm ready. Ash. They're nerfing her. Okay. Because she's probably too good. Cool. So the crit scaling is still going up. And then the W is... And later on, I feel like the W does fucking nothing. It's getting slightly nerfed, but that's fine. This already feels useless past, like, 10 minutes. Smolder. So Smolder's getting a lot of power. So they are... 50% bonus crit damage. It looks like this is just a straight nerf. Because it's going from 1.75 to 2.15 to 1.65. But again, you should be powerful in other places too. Kindred. Oh my god, bro. They're changing so much. We're updating the E to be much easier to understand. Interesting. So missing health crit is now up to 1.65. That seems like a nerf. Pounce damage looks like a nerf. But this is a buff, the monster damage cap. I don't understand this shit. We're moving past that. Quirky. They say Quirky's not strong, but I feel like low-key he is. But again, they expect him to be stronger because he's an AD. Unless you take a mid. Which now I feel like you're more incentivized to go Quirky AD just because he's such a scaling animal with his passive. And of all the things they're buffing the fucking... Oh no, they're nerfing the W. Wow. Yeah, no, he's definitely going to be stronger, especially if he's taking bot lane. Shaco? Oh yeah, I forgot this fucker builds crit. Huh. I always see AP Shacos. They like that he builds crit sometimes. Interesting. So the passive is getting slightly nerfed. And then the crit modifier is going up. Cool. And then the Q is getting slightly nerfed. And then the backstab is getting slightly buffed on crit. Nice. Graves. Okay. Yeah, they're basically saying this should be almost nothing. He'll deal 1% more damage. Wow. Damn. So he's actually getting kind of nerfed. And also he's a jungler, so it is what it is. But overall, the damage is technically getting upped because of the 200%, but they're nerfing him preemptively. Yeah, it's going up by 3%, from 357 to 360. This is nothing. Quinn. What the fuck? So they're kind of buffing Quinn. Interesting. Senna. Oh, shit. So they're lowering her base crit damage down. Wow. So yeah, she's basically getting the Yasuo and Yon treatment. Wait, and this is with Jin too? Wait a minute, did I read that wrong? Wait, let's go back to Jin. It's so late, I'm like losing my mind right now. Oh, they are massively nerfing this shit. So everyone's crit damage, if it's 100%, it's now 200% damage. His is going to be 75% of 200. So again, this is still, I mean, I was right before, it's still technically a nerf because It's a very minuscule nerf, but it's 1.505 to 1.5. But again, he is building a whole ass other item, so. Damn. That's kind of sad, man. I was really hoping they would get ridiculous from this. Anyway, so yeah, but Senna makes sense. She gains infinite stats anyway. Senna's a problem. Garen. Interesting. So they really don't like crit Garen anyway. They kind of nerfed it pretty hard. But, and yeah, it looks like here they're nerfing it even harder. But again, the damage is going up relatively. Rengar. Oh, shit. Damn, they're doing a lot to him, too. Holy shit. And there's a lot of bugs here, too. It's almost like Warwick. This reminds me of the Warwick situation because he had a lot of bugs, too. Da, 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 da. And they're going to see what's better, lethality versus crit. So, Q is consumed on plants. It no longer always is considered a crit. It no longer deals up to that amount. And if he does crit, it does that. Interesting. Huh. I'm so confused. So, if you're lucky, it does more damage. If it actually crits, because you're not going to build full crit on Rengar. But if you do get IE and it does happen to crit, then you're going to do more. So it's more RNG based, kind of. I don't know if I like this. I feel like, I mean, we'll see what people do. Viego buys crit? Oh shit. I honestly haven't seen Viego in a hot minute, because I also haven't played Rift in a hot minute. So his Q is getting the scaling of it, the percentage P scaling is getting nerfed. The second strike is getting kind of buffed, and the active crit mod is getting nerfed. Huh. Okay. Oh my god, this is getting so confusing. For the layman, this must be fucked. Some people are probably just gonna skip this. So he's getting overall nerf though. Elise, okay. With the whole jungle getting better, what are they doing? So they're nerfing her damage, but it's scaling for the cap. But it's also going down. But it's also scaling, which is weird. So it's a lower initial cap, but it also scales harder now. Huh. Whatevs. Also, I think this is a typo. I don't think this should be 105, 155. I think they have to separate that between the 5 and the 1 there in the middle. Okay, Jax. What are we doing about Jax? Oh yeah, Jax can scale his passive harder now. Ooh. Interesting. Oh wow, so this passive is gonna get even stronger. Okay, Jax could scale harder. Nice, I like that. And they're adding Omnivamp back into the game. Interesting. And it applies 100% of value, reduced for pets, damage over time, and other stuff. Cool. So it should still affect true damage too, hopefully. We're adding back the in place of life strain and jack of all trades. Oh, nice. So again, this helps people like Vayne. This is great. Anyone who does true damage gets massively benefited from this. That's really good. And then finally, holy fuck, we're up to the new fucking items after a whole hour. God, man, it's past 3 a.m. Anyway, dude, they're doing so much this season. It's actually crazy. And this is what I'm talking about. As much as I hate going through this shit, I'm very excited that the game is getting so updated. And it better be too, because we don't get updates like this often. So what are they doing? They made at least 1 item for each class on subclasses, less existing itemization. Nice. And I'll be honest, a lot of the AD itemization was pretty bland and stale. But I don't think really people cared. I didn't really care either. There was some difference, but one of the biggest things I noticed was they kind of destroyed the difference between Lord Doms and Mortal Reminder. Why would you not get Mortal Reminder? Like, it's barely a difference from Lord Doms, and it's just better with the heal cut. It's insane. So we have some returning items and some new ones, I hope. Dusk and Dawn. This is new. What is this? Lichbane and Nashor's Tooth don't offer defensive stats. Oh. So this could maybe be for Silas. A sheen pattern that doubles on hits to help champions in this space. Ooh. Oh yeah, this is probably for Silas. So what does it do? 70 AP, health, haste, attack speed, spell blade. It applies on-hit effects an additional time. Huh. Interesting. So maybe Diana would get this too? I really like the way of it too. It looks like Solari and Lunari themed. This is interesting. Fiend Hunter Bolts. This looks like an AD item. When marksmen look at Z-Lambs, oh my god, I was right. Want them to have different options to choose from that are good in different situations. Fiend Hunter Bolts allows for concentrated moments of power. I thought that was what Yuntal was for, even though it's not a Zeal item. After casting an ultimate... Oh, so this is... I was literally going to say this kind of reminds me of Vayne. They already have that pattern like Twitch, Zeri, or Yunara. I'm surprised they didn't say Vayne. Some others might like the ultimate haste this item offers. Wow. So what are they doing here? So attack speed, crit chance, move speed, 30 ultimate haste, 45-second cooldown. After casting your ult, your next 3 basics gain 50% attack speed. So it's kind of like Hail of Blades. And critically strike for 75% of your normal crit strike damage. Oh. And if it would already critical strike, it deals normal crit damage. And then 10% true damage. Interesting. Huh. So they're basically just giving more item options for people like Twitch and stuff now that the stuff is opening up. So on Twitch, you could probably always build Blade now and still have 100% crit easily. Wow. Interesting. Endless Hunger. Oh god, that kind of reminds me of the Darken. So they removed Gore Drinker and Omnimap on Eclipse. AD casters have had little to no access of Sustain. This is where, I mean, Riot's very scared of Sustain, though. Where's building high amounts of AD? Oh. So what does this do? 60 AD, Tenacity, Omnivamp, and then Famine. You gain ability haste. You gain more Omnivamp. God damn. Oh god, people like Aatrox are gonna fucking love this. Oh my god. Bastion Breaker, that looks cool. That's a fucking scythe, it looks like, or a pickaxe. Hopefully there's no miners. Anyway, most AD assassins are particularly good at ending games. True, AD assassins suck. Even they're capable of getting lots of kills, pretty frustrating situations, Which is ironic, all they really need to do is kill 2 people. The ADC, which they always do, and then maybe the mid laner, which they sometimes do. Bastion Breaker gives AD assassins a new luxury item. Oh. Gives them large amount of damage to epic monsters and turrets? What? What the fuck is this? It gives AD a lot of lethality, some haste. Dealing the ability damage to a champion epic monster deals an additional true damage? What? Taking down an enemy. Is there a cooldown on that? Hello? Taking down a champion within 3 seconds grants sabotage. For 90 seconds, you deal... Oh my god. But it's only against an epic monster turret. Interesting. So again, they're just pushing down on the pushing mechanic where even assassins can push now. This seems crazy. Actualizer. This looks like a support item. This one is made to support mana stack. You know what's crazy? Again, I didn't look at this like before. Support items usually have like a general color and theme to them. This really seems like a very supportive item or a mage item. But let's see. Mana isn't just a limitation, but instead make it so it can be an advantage. Oh. Activating Actualizer increases your mana costs for lower cooldowns. What? Oh. Really? So it's like a moment of power. And it's inactive, which are very rare now. Mana made real. Your mana is empowered. When empowered, your spells cost 100% more mana, gain 15% bonus mana, increased ability damage, healing and shielding. Your basic ability cooldowns progress 30%. What the fuck, dude? I feel like Riot is gonna go crazy with this. Also, it wasn't a support item. I read support. I didn't read the whole thing. It's supporting mana stacking builds. Oh yeah, dude, Rise is gonna be crazy. What? I mean, you could also use on supports too, but like, what? This is a crazy item. Hex Optics C44? We want to support more diversity in crit marksman builds? Oh? Really? If you can get one takedown, you could get some extra range. Oh, yeah! I forgot about this. Okay, I thought this was a support item. I don't know why I keep thinking these are support items. So, it gives 50 AD crit chance. Dude, they're actually giving so many options now. This is crazy. Deal up to 10% increased damage with attacks based on how far the enemy is, which is wild. I really want to get this on Jin. So on Jin, you could get this and Rapid Fire. When a champion you damage dies in 3 seconds, gain 100 additional range for 6. So again, people like maybe Kog'Maw might be great with this because he gains range like crazy. Tristana will probably use this. Maybe, oh my god, fucking Caitlyn, Jinx. Holy schmoly, bro, what the fuck? And again, we're gaining an extra item slot, so the more the merrier. Holy shit. This might lead to a lot of frustration, though. Low-key, I think 80s are going to be too strong. This is actually a little scary, I'm going to be honest. This is looking really dangerous. Bandle Pipes. This is a tank support item. We want to go a different direction, giving them a team-wide attack speed aura? Dude, this might be the season of ADCs. Holy shit. We'll give some armor, some MR, some haste. Slowing or immobilizing enemy champion grants fanfare. 8 for melee, 4 for ranged for seconds. It grants move speed. And while you have fanfare, nearby allies, including yourself, gain attack speed. Oh my god. Dude, this is good. Dude, they're giving more opportunities for support to actually be a support if they actually go it. Oh my god. Protoplasm Harness. What the fuck? Protoplasm Harness Officer Lifeline. Oh. Do you want to keep going forward or do you want to try to leave? So basically just gives you move speed, I think. You get the full benefits from the healing over time, which scales with your armor and MR. Oh. I wonder if Ornn would build this. So health, haste. Taking damage that will reduce your health below 30 causes you to gain health and then heal health over the duration. And then you get more size, more move speed, and more tenacity. So Mundo's taking this. Ornn could take this. So yeah, basically, it's literally what they say. It gives you a lifeline. Wow. This is cool. Holy shit. Okay, so what is this? This is for enchanters. Finally, a fucking support item. Jesus. So, excuse me, it comes from tier, which is surprising. They like mana, and some even step into the mage system. Oh! Interesting. So what does this do? There's 2 of them you could choose. Which we really don't have a lot of items like that. I'm trying to, like, struggle to think of any item like this where you can, like, choose the build path. Huh. I don't think we have anything like this. The thing we should have that's like this is honestly going to be Lord Dom's, because Lord Dom's and then Mortal Reminder, you can't get both of them. But they're both separate items. They should just build out of the same thing. Well, actually, then that would nerf Mortal, though, because then you can't get the heal cut early. Never mind. I answered my own question. But something along those lines where it's basically the same item because you can't get the other one if you pick one. But if they give some power to it early, in the case of Mortal, then it doesn't make sense. Anyway, what are they doing? So health, mana regen, heal, shield, harmony. So you're getting more stuff based on bonus mana. And then you gain max mana because it's a tier item. And then it transforms into Diadem of Songs. So you're getting more mana regen, a shit ton of mana, the same passive of Harmony, and then when you or your ally, you've healed or shielded, is in combat, you heal. Really? So this is just like a passive heal. What the fuck? Wait, this is great. Wow, I like that. Hopefully the heal isn't wiener like Milio. So, Gunblade's back. Whoop-de-doo. I actually really don't like this item. I hate that it gives both AD and AP, but I guess it's great for dual scalers. Katarina will probably get this again. Maybe even Silas, but I don't know. I'm struggling to think of who else, but Katarina for sure. I fucking hate this shit, but and they're not wrong what they say here. It's a really limited champion pool who builds this. But either way, it does give Omnivamp, so that's cool. I don't think Zehen would get this because Zehen doesn't really build AP, or it doesn't have AP skills, I don't think. But yeah, it's basically the same thing. I don't know if it's that different stat-wise from the old one, because we don't have the old one, but welcome back, Gunblade. Storm Razor. Oh, they're bringing this shit back. This one sucked. So what is this? Energized effect. Our second attack damage, attack speed, critical strike option. Ooh. So it's giving 50 AD, attack speed, crit chance, and the energized attacks do more damage. Okay, so you can basically re-go energized builds again with rapid fire, Storm Razor. I don't know if what's it called? Static is energized anymore. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know if they changed it too much because I never build that item. Interesting. But cool. Unending Despair. Ooh. So basically, Unending Despair was too good, is what they're saying, and they're giving it armor only because it was a overly generalized good item. Cool. So they're giving it more armor, no MR, and more ability haste. This thing is still going to be good though. Aegis is removed. Horizon Focus. I feel like this item is just a stat stick. They really changed it from what it used to be, where if you hit someone from long range, they take more damage, to just a decent vision item, which you probably don't really need, and just a huge, really big, just stat inflated item. So let's see what they're saying. It's bounced around from an artillery mage item to a crowd control synergy item to a control mage item. So yeah, they don't know what they're doing with this shit. Yeah, and the biggest thing they say, which I 100% agree with, is this item is boring. They took away the soul of this item and just made it a literal stat stick. So what are they doing? They're lowering the AP by a lot because this thing gave stupid AP. The haste is there. So it still reveals them. Oh wait, no, wait, they're changing it. It still reveals them, and now you get the increased damage again. Wow. And then it reveals everyone. Okay, so they're going back to the best of both worlds. I actually really like this because it's getting its soul back. It's getting the, if you damage them from long range, you do more. And then you reveal everyone else too. That's cool. Oh my god, Sundered Sky. Oh shit. So it's getting retuned because it is giving you a guaranteed crit. So you're going to get less crit damage, which is fine. And then the cooldown's going up. Cool. Lunan's Companion. The name is changing. Okay, cool. Echoes of Helia. Again, I haven't played Rift in a hot minute, so I don't know if this is really even being used, but in general, it's rare to get like supports that would even build this, from what I remember. So what are they doing? They're making it more synergistic with mage items. Oh. Healing your shielding icons use all soul charges to restore 100% of that value as health. Interesting. Okay. I'm really confused by this item. Essence Reaver. Sheen Essence is back. Holy shit. Excuse me. So basically, they're saying Essence Reaver became boring. So are they going to put it back to where the Sheen proc is what gives you mana? Let's see. The AD is going down, the crit rate is still there, the ability haste is going up. Spellblade makes this a good bit stronger, believe it or not. Yeah, and it's now mana on hit. Okay. So yeah, you do have to use an ability to now get your mana back. You don't just get it for autoing. So in a way, it's more active in your gameplay. It's not just brain dead, which I think is fine. I think it creates more of a you actually notice it sort of thing. Umbral Glaive. Interesting. So basically, this is just for killer supports like Pike and shit. Maybe Senna. And people apparently don't like it. Interesting. I don't play support, so I don't know. We're giving an update to make it more functional for jungle and mid lane. Ah. Yeah, and they basically mentioned it too. It's for Pike. Huh. So they're upping the cost, so it's making it a little harder to reach, but support gold is going up. AD's up, haste is up, lethality's up. Next attack against the champion. Oh! So they're kind of giving you Kazakh's passive in a way. When you're an enemy stealth ward. Damn! Okay. Redemption. I actually think this, aside from pro play, which is what they're mentioning, I think this item is not really used too well. So I'm curious what they're going to do. They're nerfing it. But they're giving it AP. Wow. So you're squishy, but you're more powerful. Okay. That's fine. So they're just trying to make it not as appealing. Zeke's. I feel like Zeke's is so not built, except maybe in pro play. Because people just don't know how to play around this thing. And they're giving it ultimate haste. Interesting. That's it. Cool. So tier items. To stack multiple tier items. Oh, really? Oh. So it's semi-unique. You can now have one stacking tier item in your inventory at any given time. So you could restack them, and then they're all getting buffed with the mana, because everything's scaling off mana now. Wow. Mortal. Oh, let's see what they're doing for this in Lord Doms. So again, there's not much difference between Mortal and Lord Doms, and I would say 99% of the time, you'd rather get Mortal anyway. So let's see what they're doing. So, so they're lowering the gold and they're lowering the armor. And so this Lord Dom still gives more armor pen than this, but I'll be honest, tanks do not feel like tanks. I feel like they're like ADs kind of do need to get nerfed when dealing with tanks. Only certain ADs like Vayne, Kog'Maw, and percent health dealers should be able to effectively deal with tanks like Butter, relatively. But I really feel like ADs were just demolishing certain tanks, where they really didn't feel like tanks. Like tanks, in my opinion, were largely not that tanky. So I'm glad they're kind of nerfing this, but I just wish they would differentiate Lord Doms more. Oh, and they are. They're giving Giant Slayer back. Never mind. Okay, cool. Lord Doms is good again. Cool. So Yuntal. Basically, everyone builds this shit. They know that, and they're probably nerfing it. Because it's a scaling item anyway. Or was it a scaling item? I don't remember. Man, it's been that long. Holy shit. So they're upping the cost, they're lowering the AD, and they're upping the attack speed. Okay, I mean, this is fine. Again, overall damage still going up. And now IE. Ooh. So what are they doing? They're upping the cost, they're upping the damage, but the crit damage is going down. Which is fine because they're upping the base crit damage of everyone. Perfect. This is fine. Okay, now matchmaking. Holy shit. So quite literally, ranked ended, I believe, yesterday now, technically, because it's the 8th for me. It's almost 4 a.m. Jesus Christ. Okay. So everything is going to be disabled while they start the new season. Cool. Now we have 5 provisional games as usual. Actually, I think it used to be 10. God, man, I'm so old I don't remember, and I'm so tired because it's so late. Anyway, cool, we could regrind ranked, which I'm definitely going to do. And then there's ranked rewards, blah, blah, blah. So it's Victorious Draven, but also accessories. Yippee! So emote, icon, and border and everything like that. Cool. So, Aegis of Valor. So, this is actually something, unironically, that's super duper fucking important, and it's something that I think players like me have been saying for a while, or at least I think this is it. Let me see. If you are autofilled and get a Mastery C or above, you have no LP deductions on a loss, which is craziness. Now they're really going into, okay, what's your main role, right? If you're autofilled, you basically get a boon if you do good. It is insane. So if you lose, no harm, no foul. If you win, double. That is sick work. That is crazy. That is craziness. Wow. Excuse me. So in a way, it's almost good to get auto-filled. Dodging a ranked champ select would cost more LP. So yeah, and they're just getting stricter on ranked, which is good. Rank should be super serious anyway. So the duo restriction is getting changed. You can add duo queue all the way up to Challenger. Nice. This matters for not many people, so I'm not really going to go over it. Swift play. So again, they're making this shit faster, but oh my god, we're right at the end. I can't believe this. I mean, again, I knew this was probably going to go over an hour. This is like one of my old school patch videos. Thank God we don't do that again, but hopefully after this, if we continue to do the patches, which I always say I don't want to, but I end up doing anyway, I'm sure they'll be shorter than this, no doubt. But anyway, apparently people like Swift Play, and it's for people who just, want to get in, get out, or just aren't good at regular Rift. They just want an easier time. I think Swift Play is just generally easier. The best thing with Swift Play, though, is you can pick whatever champion you want, and even if the queue times are kind of long, because sometimes they are, you basically get a guaranteed pick at one of your two champions, which is great. Very, very good. You expect to see a more significant divergence from base rules, so yeah, they're making it kind of different now. Cool. And more forgiving experience for off-meta picks. So basically, this is like almost the for fun mode. So besides role quests, it's just quicker, literally. So what are they doing? So your champions now start level 3, which is great. They swapped out Doran's items for the Guardian starter items, aka the same things that are in ARAM that give you more, which is great. Yeah, wow, so you're just starting quicker. So objectives. So because it's so much shorter, it's kind of, I guess, sometimes hard to do them. And more for the junglers, I guess. So what are they doing? Grubs are out. Herald is out. Baron spawns super fucking early. Baron persists through death. Otacon isn't there, obviously. Dragon spawn only twice. So I think the third one is now going to be Elder. The Rift transforms after one. Okay, see, now this is very swift. And no matter what, Elder Drag spawns at 15. No elemental drakes are killed. The elemental Rift transformation does not occur. Wow. And then pacing. Rubber banding? Wait, what is that? Golden experience should scale up faster than before. Damn. And you just respawn faster too. Yeah, this is very swift now. Holy shit. This is going to be super fun, actually. And sudden death comes on 5 minutes sooner. Rubber banding decreased, blah, blah, blah. Can no longer add more than 100% of the value. Tests begin to lose resist at 20. Sudden death is at 25. Death timers are only going to be at max 40. The timers no longer scale up until 25 minutes? Minion scale fat. Yeah, oh my dear lord. Minion for. Dude, what the fuck? They must really have a lot of players for Swift Play if they're doing this much. Holy shit. You simply can't make enough progress at destroying the enemy team before they respawn. So they're adding Minion Frenzy. So the minions are just going to get horny. Oh my god. So when you kill, you could just do a massive push. What the fuck? And you could bring to the minion wave. Wow. So they get more move speed, so they push faster. More attack speed, so they push faster. They do more damage, so they push faster. And then they spread it. And then you could bring it for 90 seconds. That's crazy. Dude, this is wild. Dude, League is getting so wild. What the fuck? The only thing they really need to fix is all this gacha bullshit. And then jungle stuff. You could stack it even faster. The respawn times are quicker. Also, they fucked up the writing right there. And same with there. Okay. And nearby allies also receive some of the gold. But the killer still receives 100%. That's great. And now Arena, which sadly I haven't played too much. So Arena is getting more crit damage. And there's new tracks. So if they ever take out Mayhem, Arena, or ARAM Mayhem, I'm definitely going to be playing Arena again too. Wow. It's sad I never end these. I never have completed these tracks. 9 new augments. Cool. I'd rather be surprised when I get them, so I'm not going to look at those. Zaheen has been stupid broken because he is a brawler who just wants to fight champions. He's not really a laner. So he's getting nerfed. And then items. All the items are coming in, besides Bastion Breaker, because it doesn't make sense. Cool. And then Mayhem. Are they extending this? I don't understand. So these are just general changes. So Snowball's getting nerfed. So this was actually broken too. Killing time was so broken because everyone's damage got stored. So you just pop. Now it's just from the augment owner, which is a big nerf. So Flashy is getting buffed because it was ass. And Steal Your Heart is getting giga buffed. Earth Champion is getting kind of giga buffed, and bug fixes. And then Demacia Rising, which is the new thing they're adding to the client. Cool. You play as Lux, who's being mentored by her auntie. You'll expand the king. Okay, cool. This is so cool. Dude, they're basically kind of doing what gachas do already. They're adding like a mini game too on top of all the main stuff, because that's all gachas do. They add the main story and then they just copy mini games from other games too. Sometimes they create original shit, but not often. But I really like this. This seems cool. This is almost like a farming simulator sort of thing. Wow. Purchasing the battle pass will instantly reward silver shields. Lol, and you get more. That's so funny. That's interesting though. So what the fuck do you get from this? Do you get anything from this? It'll be updated several times. So this is lasting the whole season. I actually really like this. Holy shit. This is cool how they're going with this. And again, the other stuff was cool too. The little side scroller like beat 'em up they had was nice, but I think I'm probably gonna like this one the most. I'm really gonna like this because there's almost no gameplay. It's like a sim. It's like a simulator game. That's really cool. Oh, here we go. And now we're getting to the strict stuff. And this is where Riot, again, just over time, they've cracked down so hard on being mean, bullying, this, that. It's crazy. So, trying to manipulate other players to do what you want, pushing a dodge penalty onto someone else, playing out a game with something like Disco Nunu isn't something they want, and it's something no one fucking wants. This is where, again, they are becoming very PG, very, like, you know, like, don't say swears. For some of these instances, I wholeheartedly agree with them, though. Dude, this is crazy. And now, like, reporting in Champ Select is even more important. Wow. And again, Riot has made so many strides toward this, and I keep saying this more and more. And maybe we're going into a dark time where people are just so scared to express themselves. That's a very valid concern. But overall, coming from like the sheer cesspool of toxicity and filth that League was, it is night and day difference. It's actually crazy. Which is really bad for people who can't control themselves with toxicity, because I know some of those people. Anyway, cool. And they're saying off meta or strategic disagreements is fine. It's not hostage taking because people are going to be snowflakes. So champion selects will be terminated when a player in a champion select is reported and determined to be holding the lobby hostage. Interesting. This will never trigger without a report in champ select, so you have to report people. Cool. That's good that it can terminate though. When a champion select is terminated, the offender will receive a penalty and you can't immediately queue again. Nice. And you'll re-enter matchmaking. Nice. Penalties for repeated disruptive behavior have been increased. They're not playing around. They improved detection. If you receive an account ban, you will be unable to change your Riot ID until the ban is over. Wow. Lane-based autofill. Nice. Autofill players are more fairly matched by role, so basically they're just improving the matchmaking. We're still working on these changes. We don't expect to have them ready in January. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. So basically they're trying to really match autofill, but this only works if you have such a wide player pool. Because there's so many things that go into matchmaking, I'm not even going to begin to describe it, but this is a very hard and complicated thing, but we're going to keep going. So, the community pack. So this is the cringe-ass shit that they make you agree to. They're like, oh, be friendly, be a good person, this, that. I mean, you know, they kind of just put it in there to please the masses, because I guess the masses like this, but I guess that's also fair, because if they issue a penalty, you did agree to this. But also, they force you to agree to this, but still. You have to have some rules, so we updated the reporting categories and descriptions. Nice! Then Clash Summoner's Rift Demacia Cup is coming out. Sadly, I don't really have a lot of friends that play League, and the ones that do aren't that good. So, I might be skipping this, but I might be doing it, we'll see. The sad part is I'm just so busy. Literally, because I'm doing this at like almost 4 a.m. So, bug fixes, quality of life changes. We're not going to read this, the game is buggy as hell as usual. And then finally, we can talk about the upcoming skins. So, this is where, I don't know which one of these are in the Battle Pass, I think they all are. We have the new Morgana skin, which is very sexy, very cool. Morgana has a lot of skins though, but I believe this is at the end of the pass, but it looks nice. Hopefully the in-game is good too, but she already has a gotcha $200 skin, so how good are they really going to make this, right? After that, we have Petricite Shell, which is A very interesting concept. I just wish they gave Cho an ASU. Petricite Knot is also pretty cool, and I think it works well with him. And then we have Durin's Legacy Talia, which is cool because it's a really cool take on Talia because Demacia does technically have stone even though it's made from tree, I believe. It's like bark. It's like weird tree bark shit. But yeah, no, she's bending the Petricite, and she's relating to Durand, which is also related to Poppy. But I think this is a what if. I don't think this is a lore related skin. But honestly, I don't know if in the lore, she went here. That'd be cool. But Durand is supposed to be old, and by old I mean dead. Like Poppy met him like I think 100 years ago or something. So this has to be like a what if skin. This can't be a lore accurate skin. Which obviously Petricide, Show, and Nautilus are not lore accurate at all. So yeah. And there is the chromas. So finally, that takes us to the end of the fucking huge ass season patch, which somehow didn't take us 2 hours. I thought I could do this in under one. I was an absolute fool. But I'll be honest, in terms of changes, I feel like other seasons, they did have changes, right? Like Otacon and Feats of War and stuff, but never to this level. This is a new level of change I think we haven't seen for so long. And again, with all the changes to like just Riot cracking down on toxicity and stuff and just all the changes to the game, who knows if and when they're going to fuck it up. But I think League is almost too big to fail, but nothing is too big to fail, but they're almost too big to fail. But this is going to be an interesting season, and I think for a long time I haven't been interested. I think I'm decently interested in League again, especially ADC. And now there's so many item options too. Again, this is the most change I've seen to date. This is actually fucking crazy. It makes me think, how the fuck are they gonna follow this up? The fucking reaction we did to the music video was great. The cinematic, like that shit was crazy. This gameplay looks crazy. I'm surprised they didn't show anything with Shiv though. Kind of surprised by that. But maybe that'll come later on in like, season 2 or something. But we'll see. Anyway, overall, I would honestly rate this patch. The only problem is the numbers were kind of confusing from like a non-math major's perspective with all this like crit shit. But overall, with the level of changes they're doing, I'm gonna tentatively rate this. Honestly, if I understood it better, I'd rate it higher, but I'm gonna rate it just in terms of like opportunity and options and just how much they're doing to the fucking game. And it's not just Rift either. It's like Swift Play, Mayhem, which I think hopefully is still gonna be out. Which doesn't make sense because again, yeah, this concludes January 10th. So what are these like changes for? For the last like what, 1 or 2 days? Like what is this? It doesn't make sense. But aside from that, I mean, I'll say like a solid 8.5 out of 10 Marc Merrills. This patch was crazy. Filled to the brim more so than a lot of other seasons I think have been of recent years. So this is pretty good. Hopefully I don't fuck up the game. Tentatively, 8.5 out of 10 Marc Merrills. That's gonna be it for me. Fucking finally. Holy fuck, it's almost 4 a.m. Fuck me in my ass. I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope everyone has a good one. And if you want to see more of me, watch me at Twitch TV/Tecnics channel. Eee!